Oh, am I not live yet? Now I'm live. It is Wavy Wednesday, ergo we are listening to some wavy music. I told some friends and some peers that we listened to Vaporwave on Wednesday a couple weeks ago, and they said, I don't know what that is. And I said, wow, you guys are young. And they reminded me that I'm not that much older than them. And I joked because, like, I'm younger than Vaporwave. But I'm happy to see that it's, like, got so much of a comeback. Anyway, I am going to be seasoning some cast iron, and then I am going to have it. I've got to scrub it quite a bit, so you might not see me on screen for a second. And then I am going to have it in the oven for like 90 minutes, which is why I wanted to season it. Ideally, I would have scrubbed it before stream, but like, kind of got a little busy today. I ended up, oh goodness. Wow, I didn't even. Is the mic really that loud? Yikes. Okay, let me turn that down a good bit. I've been messing with sound settings, like more. I've been messing with like more specific sound settings, so I'm hoping that like at some point I'll figure it out and make things like sound somewhat decent. Fingers crossed. Anyway, yeah, the cast iron will have to sit in the oven for 90 minutes. And yeah. So I figured I would have that seasoning while I was on stream. That being said, I could just wait. I could just wait until after stream to scrub it, but that was kind of the plan, was to scrub it and then study while it's being seasoned. The question that I have is, I don't know if I should season it, if I should put the cast iron in the oven while the oven is heating up, or have the oven preheated for the cast iron. I guess maybe I should do some research on that, huh? Alright. Well, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go grab some hummus and some chips, and I'm gonna sit here and do just like a touch of study on seasoning. And then I'm gonna go scrub my cast iron, and then I'm gonna oil it up, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven. Either preheated or not, I'm not sure. And then we'll find out. There was someone who said that, like, I wouldn't need to do a full oven season, that I'd only need to do a stovetop season. But I figure I might as well go ahead and do a full oven season. So, alright, nothing to it but to do it. We're gonna go for 25 minutes, and we'll be remembered to hydrate at the end. So, awesome. Oh, can you guys not hear the music, like, at all? Maybe, like, right there? That's kind of loud, isn't it? Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I can't tell. Azoth, where are you? You're supposed to be able to tell me if my music is too loud. Azoth. Where? No, I'm joking. Alrighty, well. Let's just run it then, I guess. Hopefully you guys are able to hear the music. I'll probably turn it up a little bit before I go. So, awesome. Okay, howdy y'all. We're gonna go for a full 50 because I need to hit my cast iron with some paper towels, so keep doing what you're doing. Alrighty. Turn that music up just a little bit. Still trying to figure out kind of the controls for everything. I also am going to be right back, and I'm going to check the cast iron. I just need to make sure that the oven is preheated. I don't necessarily want the cast iron to be in there for hours while I think that the oven is preheating, because that would be bad. So, BRB. So, the light for heating is still on. That does not necessarily mean that it did not hit temp. It just might mean that it hit temp and then cooled down and is now coming back up to temp. So, I'm not sure what to do about that. Also, what's the smoke point of canola oil? Like, I feel like that's something that I should have known before going into this, because, like, the random person that I came across on Reddit that said, okay, the issue with your cast iron is that the parchment paper isn't rated for that high of a temperature. Here's how you cook it in the oven, like season it in the oven. He said to do it at 450, but then there's other resources telling me to get the oven as hot as I can possibly get it. And I know that you do need to get past the smoke point of whatever oil you put on it, because that's when polymerization happens. Okay, canola oil, that's the AI overview, I don't do that. Canola oil smokes at 400 and avocado oil at 500? Weird. Wikipedia template smoke point of cooking oil. Canola. Why isn't this organized? Okay, here we go. Why are there two different numbers? Because it's Fahrenheit and Celsius. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, canola oil's smoke point isn't any higher than 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's when it's unrefined. But I do have to go past that, right? Okay. I'm just gonna leave it at 500. I'ma just do it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Also, we're at 8 views, and that's because either the same person or different people will hop in for like a split second and then walk away. In fact, we were at 3 concurrent views at one point, but that was while I was off screen scrubbing my cast iron. So, like, I don't really know what to do about that, but I am gonna go check the oven again, just to make sure that it's getting empty. Oh, it still seems like it's preheating. But I am smelling the cast iron heating up, so, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Anyway, in other news, I briefly looked into a position that I thought that I might be able to have forwarded to me by Family and Children's Services. The first 2 results were from the company website. And then the 3rd result was it's a scam from Reddit. So that's great. I have no idea if Family and Children's knows or if the job that Family and Children's is referring to is the same as the company that popped up whenever I googled it. I've had to deal with too many job scams to want to even, like, entertain the thought of working somewhere where the 3rd result is it's a scam. So I will not be applying for that job, but I might make a note of it and send that to my representative at Family and Children's, just letting them know, hey, just so you know, this is what popped up when I googled it. And, of course, my representative is not the one that put it down on that sheet, but oh well. How is the rest of chat doing? And by the rest of chat, I mean my brother that loved to go take a shower at one point, which is probably still the one concurrent viewer. Unless he left at a different point, like actually left the stream. No, I don't think so. See, okay, like, it's kind of wild because we did just, in effect, do a 50-minute combo, but I don't feel tired, 1. 2, majority of that time was spent scrubbing the steel wool and scrubbing the cast iron and drying it. I wouldn't say a majority of that time. Some of that time was, like, spent researching the cast iron, so that's something. As Lot says, I bought a Switch 2. Holy shit. That's a lot of money. I mean, like, I don't know. I know that they were a lot of money when they came out, but maybe they're less now, since it's been, like, what, a year or 2? I can't remember when the Switch 2 came out. All I remember is that people were comparing it to the Wii U. Have you got it yet, or is it like a I just purchased it and it's on the way type of thing, or what? Because, like, honestly, I need to go through storage and find my Switch. And it's probably corroding right now. And I really hope that it's not corroding beyond repair, because it was the Animal Crossing Switch. So, like, as Alt says, it's still $500. Yeah, see, that's a lot. That's a third of what I pay for rent in a month. That's a lot of money. That's a lot. I think Nintendo lost the plot, if I'm being completely real. Like, I think Nintendo is crashing and burning, and the only reason it's alive is because there are still people that, like, want to play Super Mario. You know, there are still people that want to play the new Zelda games when they come out.
There are people that want to play fucking Miitopia, apparently, I guess. Azoth says I'm currently playing it right now. Yeah, see, there's people like you, and that's the only reason why Nintendo is able to charge $500, is because people like you will pay $500 for it. Die mad about it, I'm sorry. I'm pretty happy with myself kind of counting off Nintendo, especially because, like, I think the only reason I would get a new Nintendo console is if Animal Crossing got a new game, or if the Pokemon. See, I don't know if I would even get a Switch for any of the a Switch 2 for any of the Pokemon games, because like. Azoth says, granted, I only paid $4.50 because I got it at Sam's Club. Oh, smart. Okay. I mean, that's like 10%. That's half of my grocery budget weekly. Good on ya. But no, I might want a Switch 2 if a new mainline Pokemon game came out that made me just like drop my jaw and want to play it. But even then, probably not. Because, like, Pokopia came out, and, like, Pokopia would be my absolute shit, but I've just not been engaged with it at all. Like, it's been all over my For You page, it's been all over my algorithms. People that I know have been playing it, and they've been, like, super obsessed with it, and I'm like, I mean, I guess it's cute, but, like, I don't even know what you do. I guess you, like, build an island for Pokemon and they can talk to each other. Like, it feels like it's just another Tamagotchi Life or whatever. Or Miitopia. Is that what everyone's playing right now, Tamagotchi Life? That's the one that RT has been, like, obsessed with. And same with, what's her name? Lumi Plays, I think? One of the Stardew creators. Yeah. Alright. The smell of that cast iron cooking is making me hungry. And it's gonna be so annoying here in a bit. I got, like, a microwave dinner for myself for tonight since I knew that the oven would be off limits. Like, I don't want to cook chicken on the stovetop, you know? Anyway. Alright, let's go. I think I might actually put away the hummus that I've got and make that microwave meal. I think I would prefer that, actually. I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I've just gotten started for the night, so I'm thinking about running a 50. I don't think anyone can really argue against that, unless Azoth you're feeling particularly against a 50. Oh hey, for a second there we had 2 people watching and then they left while I was yapping. That's so unfortunate. Honestly, I should get a lapel mic. Because it might just be like my mic quality is garbage. Might be driving people away. I'm gonna make myself feel better and say that that's what it is at least. Azoth says, Pokopia is like a fusion of Animal Crossing and Minecraft without combat. Yeah, see, it just... I'm gonna feel bad for saying this. It looks like a boring cash grab. It looks like Pokemon tried to make a cozy game with, like, as little thought as they possibly could. Now, granted, that's just what I've seen, like, on a surface level, but it really looks like Pokemon is just trying to do the bare minimum and cash in on, like, its branding and whatever the current trends are. Which, right now, cozy games are, like, super in. So, like, a cozy Pokemon game, I guess, could be kind of fun, but, like, the Pokemon games are already cozy. Like, people play Diamond and Pearl curled up in bed on a rainy day. I just... Alright, anyway, we're doing 50. Alright. I'm gonna go put my hummus away and make that microwave meal, because I've actually low-key been kind of excited for it.
Catch them if you
I simultaneously feel like I got a lot done and nothing done at the same time. Move the camera up so that my face isn't being hidden by hydrate. I need to get myself like a permanent setup that doesn't take like an annoying amount of time to set up. Well, I guess that's the idea of a permanent setup, isn't it? Is that you don't have to set it up. I like the setup that I had with like the tripod and the camera. Like, it looks good, but it's so annoying. It's really annoying to deal with. Just because, like, I have to make sure that my phone is charged, and then, like, it's not even my personal phone, it's my old phone. I have to make sure that that's charged, and I have to plug it in, and, like, it takes up an extra amount of desk space because, like, it's a tiny little tripod. Anyway, how's everyone else doing? Somebody did pop by in chat and asked, what are we learning about tonight? Are you in college? Are you sure in college? I am sure not in college, actually. What kind of work are you looking for? And I responded, oh howdy, sorry I don't tend to look at chat when studying. Honestly, I'm hoping to land something in admin, but realistically, some sort of research or position utilizing machine learning would be the ideal career path, or working for a nonprofit in general. I had responded to them 6 minutes after their most recent message, and they didn't respond back, so I'm assuming they got bored and left, which is completely understandable. Somehow, the stream has garnered 26 views, which is kind of wild. Apparently we have 2 concurrent viewers, but if I look at a different setting, never mind, it does still say 2 concurrent viewers. Neat. That's pretty cool. Wow. Ooh, we're back up to 3 now. That's pretty neat. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I spent a lot of that time looking through the... So, Family and Children's Services here in Tulsa, they do a, I never turned down the music for you guys. I don't think that I even turned it up in the first place, though, huh? Man, I gotta get on top of my shit. Back when I, like, first started streaming, I was like, alright, my volume muted, stream volume music up. And then during the breaks, stream volume music down, my volume on. Like, I used to be, like, really on top of it, and now I'm like, meh. Oof. It's not a good look for me, especially if, like, this is the highest concurrent amount of viewers I've had since the celebration stream. I'm freaking tired, chat. Oh, also, I'm not actually using this mic. Like, I'm using the laptop's mic. But I guess I should have this down just to make it look good, huh? Anyway, now, I spent all of that time looking through each and every single, like, job opportunity that was in the spreadsheet that Family and Children's Services has, because, like, a few of them kind of stood out to me. Like, there was a document specialist from Xerox that was hiring, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that you could work for Xerox in Tulsa. And, like, you look at the job description, and it's the most hardcore thing. They're like, we don't want someone who's just gonna sit at a computer and send emails. We want someone who's gonna be on the forefront of making sure that our product gets sold. And it's like, okay, buddy, chill. Jeez, okay. And I tried to, like, brush it off as, like, it's just corporate slogans. You know, like, obviously I'll show up and play the part for interviews or whatever, but, like, whatever. And then I just kept reading it, and I'm like, I don't think this is the job for me. I mean, like, I don't have the experience necessary. It looks like they're looking for somebody that's more of, like, a project manager type of role. And, like, don't get me wrong, I am a project manager of sorts for Scope Creep, but not... I can't necessarily say that I have experience project managing in such a way, you know? Like, my experience, I think, would be best described as team lead, and that's what I tell people, and that's what I put on my resume, you know? Because, like, I'm still a part of the process of the production of Trade It.
I'm not just being like, go workers, do your thing. I'm actively being a part of the research and whatnot, the research and development. So, if you guys can't tell, I'm planning on this being the last Pomo. Nobody has chimed in. None of our, what was once 3 viewers, now 1. Goodness, it's like I recognized that I had a 3rd person and it just shot down. What is happening? Does somebody have me on in the background and it's just like cutting in and out? I don't understand, dude. I mean, like, I guess I'll take it. 20-something views is 20-something views, but that's just weird, you know? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm tired. A lot of that time was just spent looking at jobs that were definitely too far out of my, like, range of ability. There was a social media marketing position, and I'm like, oh, I could theoretically do that. And then I start looking at the individual details, and it's like, must have 3 years experience content creating, and I'm like, I mean, I'm a streamer, but like, I haven't edited anything. I can't necessarily say that I'm experienced doing that. I need to download editing software. Like, that's still on my to-do list. I'm hoping that I can have something out. Good golly. Monday is the 1st? Like, Monday is the start of Pride? Yeah. Sunday is the last day of May. Which means Sunday is the last day that I'll have to edit the journal making. I mean, I guess I don't necessarily have to have it out on the 1st day of Pride, right? But it would be kind of nice. I don't know. I might try and do some video editing tomorrow. What are my obligations tomorrow, actually? I don't think that I have any. Yeah, I don't have any obligations tomorrow, so I'll get in my 2 government-mandated job applications tomorrow, early in the day, and then later in the day, try and devote some time to editing. I think that's a good plan. So, but for now, that will be the end because, I don't know. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to journal and maybe read. I picked up some books today from the library. It would be a good idea for me to get some reading done, I think. So. Alright. Well, y'all have a good night. Anyone who is actively watching. Somehow I gained 2 concurrent viewers in the time that it took for me to talk about this. YouTube's analytics has to be bugged. Anyway, I'm not gonna sit here and say goodbye for forever, so goodbye, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night.